Hey guys! Planet Zoo has given me this amazing experience to interact and learn about some of the animals at the San Diego Zoo. It's one of the coolest things I have ever done in my life, and I cannot wait to show you all of the amazing footage from this trip. If you are unaware, Planet Zoo is a new game coming out on November 5th, 2019. You can build and manage a zoo, take care of your animals, while also learning a lot about them as well. I was lucky enough to play the beta while that was out temporarily, and ever since it's ended, I have been having withdrawals. So without further ado, let's go to the San Diego Zoo. Oh my god, that rhymed.
Hi.
Ew.
There we go. Very cool. Hi, welcome to Sasha's vlog. My name is Critic Zeus. I'll be your host for this little segment. So we're at San Diego Safari Park. Very cool, very exciting. We've seen a couple of gorillas, a couple of silly people. It looks like I'm sunburned already. Uh-oh.
Oh yeah, me too.
Uh-oh. Welcome back to the boyfriend-girlfriend vlog. My name is Critic Zeus. I'm the boyfriend, and then that's the girlfriend.
Nom 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 nom. That's a good leaf. Oh, skinny legend.
Good morning, welcome to San Diego Zoo and to our lemur exhibit. This is one of our 2 lemur exhibits. We have 5 different species of lemur here at the zoo, of which there are actually over 100 different types of lemur. They're all found on the island of Madagascar. That's the only place in the world where you'll find wild lemurs. But we have 5 of those species represented here at the zoo. And there's our ringtail troop. Okay, they're pretty interested in us. One interesting thing about these ringtail lemurs is all ringtail lemurs have the exact same number of white stripes and black stripes, and their tails always start with a white stripe and they always end with a black stripe. They're always born with the number of stripes that they're going to have throughout their whole life. They're born with it. Here we see there's Taz with her tail up in the air, and ringtail lemurs, you'll generally see them walking through with their ringed tails sticking straight up in the air, and well, that's a great form of communication for them when they're walking through some of the tall grasses, etc. They can just glance around and they can pick out individual family members by their tail. Ringtail lemurs tend to live in large groups, multi-male, multi-female groups, where the females are very much the dominant gender. That being said, if there are 2 different groups of ringtails, they are not going to cohabitate. 2 separate groups, they're going to have to be kept apart. Otherwise, they're going to try and constantly be testing each other and trying to fight with each other.
Oh, wow.
And so we do have 2 different sets of ringtail groups here at the zoo. During breeding season, we separate them because that's when things really get interesting. Throughout the rest of the year, they can see each other from across the exhibits, and generally you'll see them looking at each other throughout the day, trying to see where everybody is, keeping an eye on everyone. And over on that exhibit, we also have blue-eyed black lemurs, which are extremely rare. They're some of the rarest of the lemurs, some of the most endangered. And we also have red ruffed lemurs. And our last lemur group is the cockroach shafak. They're also heavily endangered as well.
So how big does a group usually get?
A group of ring-tailed lemurs can get quite large. It can get into the 20s and 30s. I've seen very large groups of them. They tend to hang out on rock faces out in the wild in Madagascar, and they sleep in the caves at night. They do very much have a vegetarian diet. As you'll see, there's one of them snacking on a plant. Here at the zoo, they get a pretty steady diet of roots, vegetables, some fruit, and some primate chow that rounds out the diet. When it comes to locomotion, pretty much are like most other primates. They will walk quadrupedally on hands and feet. They are incredible jumpers though, and excellent climbers, and are fairly arboreal. Ring-tailed lemurs are probably the least arboreal of the species that we have, which is why you'll see them on the ground a lot and running through the tall grasses.
And they're very active.
Yep, they are very active.
Do they ever slow down?
They do slow down, and when they do slow down, they tend to come together in a big group and they huddle. They form like a lemur train. You'll see them all lined up one behind the other. It's usually pretty interesting. It's a very interesting behavior. They are very entertaining, very active. They use just about every square inch of this exhibit. We sometimes have lemurs hanging from the netting from the sides and from the roof. Unfortunately, it's not too sunny today, or else you would have been able to see what's called, they do a whole lot of sunbathing, these guys.
Really?
They're a very relaxed group of primates. Almost like a yoga pose when you see them. It's very peaceful and very zen-like.
It's channeling my inner lemur.
And they're also doing some scent marking. Lemurs have a whole lot of scent glands all over different parts of their body. So what they'll do is sometimes leave chemical cues by wiping those glands all over tree branches, rocks, any sort of natural substrate out there. Come breeding season, then you really see a whole lot of it, especially the males. The males have a really, really interesting behavior during breeding season, where they will take their tails, put their tails between their legs and rub it between their wrists really vigorously, and then they waft it above their head and they wave their tail at each other.
That's when the crazy really comes out, yeah.
I'm glad you enjoyed seeing our lemurs. Let's head on over to the vervet monkeys now. They're right across the way, and I'll show you what we typically do for a behind-the-scenes tour. I'll show you how we feed them. We can talk a little bit more about our vervet monkeys.
All right, let's do it.
All right, thanks for joining us over here at our vervet monkeys. This is our family group. We have our dad Luke and mom Sahara with 3 of their offspring. Vervet monkeys are from Africa. They are old world monkeys. They are very intelligent and very curious. So what I'll go ahead and do, since they're all here and waiting on us, is I'll go ahead and start feeding them. And then we can talk a little bit more about them. What we do is that we use these feeders. It gives it an element of better safety for us, so that we never have to introduce our hands to the animals. That keeps us from having to worry about getting any bites or anything like that. What I'll do is I'll just toss one of these down in here. Of course, I always use gloves. It goes right through for them.
Go get it, go get it.
Go get it, little man.
Oh, okay.
Good
They're
job.
like, wait a minute, there's food.
And so again, you know, they have a vegetarian diet, lots of roots, vegetables. They are frugivorous. They will eat a lot of fruit as well. And again, they get monkey chow. Gives them all those extra nutrients, vitamins that they need. You're a little camera shy.
I guess so.
That's right, Dad Luke is up top.
Hi, Dad.
Keeping an eye on everything. If I brought out some peanuts or mixed nuts for them, they would have been more than happy to chow down on that.
They'd go crazy.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah, and I'm done. Throw it on the ground. I'm done.
That being said, like I said, I don't see too many, I don't see too much left over. A whole lot of gourds. You'll see a lot of gourds out on exhibit. And that's something that we can hide different food items in as well. And that promotes them going around the exhibit and foraging as well. Exerting that energy to find their food, so it's not that we're just laying out food for them.
Right, not making it too easy. Oh man, that one just took all of them. He's like, these are all mine.
And he's out.
There he goes.
So just hold it right there. They're gonna eat out of that cup and give you a nice opportunity to see them really up close. These are Caribbean flamingos, or formerly known as Caribbean flamingos. They're now called American flamingos. And so there's kind of a dominance hierarchy in here. So the dominance hierarchy is totally natural and normal for them to have. So, you go over here. So they're filter feeders, which means that they're going to eat with their heads down. So, I know. They're very, very talkative. That's kind of.
Hello.
This little guy right here, she's actually a baby. She's just a year old. And it takes 3 to 6 years for a flamingo to get fully pink.
Oh.
So if you see gray ones or white ones, you know you're looking at a youngster. Her name is Bean, and she's, so these two are a lot of fun. As you might know, they are monogamous birds, so they pair up for life. So these two are a pair, which is why they're comfortable sharing out of the cup. But these two right here are like, hey, I want in the cup too. So they'll sneak in when these two aren't paying attention. And that's how the dominance hierarchy works in here, because this bird right here is very dominant in the group. So he's one of our in-charge boys. Being that they are a monogamous bird, they actually live a very, very long time. So it's a long time for them to be together. We'll see them living about 60 years.
Elephant.